Hello, welcome back to the Tipsy Gentleman podcast. I am your host, Chris, and I am joined by RetroKid Reviews.
Hi, my name is RetroKid Reviews. Follow me on my Tumblr, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and, oh god, Retro, what are you doing? And yes, there is a playlist of the real Retro Reviews and other things I've done on the channel.
So, what is your big claim to fame exactly?
Getting over 100 subscribers in 5 years.
So what is your channel really known for? What kind of videos do you do for those who haven't seen you?
For those who haven't seen my videos, I'm a broad range. I do vlog episodes of when new movies come out during the summer. MCU obviously, DC obviously. For the DC stuff, I do this character called Red Hood. And it is, as the name implies, a bit of a knockoff. I took it from Corpus Christi Twitter forum somewhere down the road. He's known as the real Nerd Joker, and I have a real Nerd Red Hood. I don't have an official Twitter in case anyone wants to know, and if you want to add him and let him know that this guy exists, I'm all for it, honestly. Because my big dream, if I ever meet the Corpus Christi guy, is do a crossover Nerf War as the Red Hood character with him as Joker, and make a mock version of Death of the Family or things like that with like whatever new Nerf brands coming out, like whatever's in the Rival series. The Mega series is basically where I want to leave in Jason's wheelhouse as far as the Nerf stuff is concerned. And 90% of the time when he does movie reviews, he is in a figure, and that's where most of my channel also resides. I do figure reviews, I do Nerf reviews, I do first reacts in different characters. One of them in particular recently is the real Nerf Scarlet Spider for all the Spider-Man trailers that have been coming out. For example, they just Spider-Verse, I just wrapped up on doing link in the description for that. And that's me. That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
My channel, most of the playlists will be there too. There's been random stuff because my channel's pretty much a Frankenstein monster channel. It's stuff I had before I made a show and stuff I have after I made a show, so I got to organize it better, honestly. So yeah, just FYI for anyone who's going to the channel.
So there you go. So alright, what can we talk about for this podcast? Well, for one thing, I wanted to say this. We originally planned to have another guest on, but sadly he couldn't make it. He's a really good friend of both of ours. He's a fan of my content. He is a regular to James's stuff. His name is Austin Trench. I did a video where that was an April Fool's Day video. I pretended to review his content because really there's not much to say. Very similar to James. He does reviews of action figures, a lot of them comic book based. And really, I just love the fact he's a fan of my content. I like his stuff too, so he's a very nice guy. And Austin, we're sorry you couldn't make it, man. Go again. We'll link him in the description as well. Go check him out.
Chris, you're God's perfect idiot.
Out of sympathy, because I met him in real life. We went to New York a couple times. Mostly in Manhattan with his family. They're very nice people, and I know he likes to say this story a lot, but to me, I kind of shrug nonchalantly. We almost got killed by a bus a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, I forgot where exactly. I think it was near 42nd Street in Manhattan, and we were just waiting out to like cross the street, and one of our other friends, Frank, was there, and he could back up on the story too. And I just looked at it like, seen it before, and they were like, get the out of the way, Retro. I'm like, okay, and I just did. Yeah, again, knowing Trench and our other guy, Austin Frank, I don't know if he has a Twitter, so I'll ask him Discord if he wants to be notified. Anyway, just to confirm the story, and like, yeah, this happened. If my audio comes out and I'm like shaky, whatever, it's because I just came out of cold, and the windshield in New York is really not my favorite tonight.
I can't blame you. I'm on East Side too. It is very cold out.
Yeah, I'm chatty. I'm such a...
I can't blame you. All right.
Thanks.
So, what can we talk about? Well, I had a movie that I was going to talk about, but I'll let you go first. Is there anything, aside from telling us a little bit about your channel, is there anything that you wanted to tell us? Like, any kind of events that you're interested in talking about?
Events-wise, nothing really other than in real life. My family and I are going to go to this year's WrestleMania.
Oh.
Which is a big thing, because in my channel, I think a couple times, I rarely also talk about WWE videos, like minor news, minor predictions for pay-per-views coming up, and I actually want to get back into it because sadly, as of this podcast, WWE might be forcibly retiring one of their best divas, Paige, due to an in-ring injury she suffered during one of their WWE live events. For those who don't know, these live events are basically non-televised. They're just basically offshoot kayfabe kind of matches for their touring schedules and things like that. And it just happened like all of a sudden with this neck injury. And for anyone who doesn't know about neck injuries, that's a big deal in the wrestling business because if you have it more than once, you are definitely retiring because they don't want to risk your head getting knocked off. And if you also follow the wrestling fandom like that, they also like to make wild accusations that Sasha Banks, another diva who gave her a leg drop to the back of her neck, did it on purpose to get her out of like a competition or it was like a drama kind of situation. I don't want to get into specifics to that, other than it's not confirmed officially that she's retiring or from WWE themselves on Twitter. So again, it's a little bit,
it's all speculation.
Yeah, speculation and grain of salt kind of territory. But again, it's looking to be like that. There's a lot of officials in the wrestling game, like Dave Meltzer, who kind of can predict this happening in a matter of time. Which, by the way, speaking of Dave Meltzer, he is basically the guy to give you the 5-star meme for all the New Japan matches that came in the last couple of years. Rightfully so, because Wrestle Kingdom is basically their WWE, and it is not to be messed with. I think future project I want to do, channel-wise, is I want to do a Super Troopers style video with the real Nerd Red Hood and the entire Bat family against. I wish you were here to laugh at this, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and if anyone has seen the movie, I highly recommend it. It's a great comedy.
Super Troopers?
Yeah, Super Troopers.
Huh.
And I want to be timely before the sequel finally comes out. Mainly because the plot twist, I think the Senator's nerd at is that local cops ended up being drug dealers themselves, and my hilarious idea for it being Green Lanterns. Guy Gardner is basically the head of the ring, and what else? Kyle Rayner and everyone is trying to snitch, and they don't get into can to get killed and stuff like that, and it's just hilarious in my mind. I hope I can pen it on paper someday before the movie comes out.
That sounds great.
Oh yeah, I got a lineup of voices I want to do. And clearly the Farva, for those who don't know the character, he's basically a really loud, brash kind of dude, and I highly recommend both of those. They're a great comedy troupe. For Farva, I really want it to be Damian Wayne, just the complete opposite of that kind of like he's overqualified to do this, just basically an annoying mess. And I highly recommend the shenanigans scene. If you can't see the whole movie, the shenanigans scene is the best. Farva just comes out Farva, what's that goopy crap on the walls with the mozzarella sticks you like? Shenanigans, they all break out their pistols and they're because of the context that they're going to pistol.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? You mean Shenanigans?
Okay, so there you go. We've talked about wrestling a little bit. We've talked about Super Troopers. We talked about videos and production schedule. I guess I should talk about my movie because, we were originally going to do a sit-through of it. I watched a good chunk of it for the sake of to see if it was worthy, because a lot of people, this was on the Captivating Christian back burner, so I guess I decided to talk about it for Tipsy Gentlemen tonight. The movie is called S.O.S. It's made by, it's confirmed right now, it's the Japanese. So, yeah, because you guys are really into the Japanese stuff. I know you're really into Power Rangers, which obviously that originated from Japan.
Yeah, Super Sentai.
Yep. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get your guys' perspective, but I guess I could just talk about the movie. It's under 30 minutes long, and it's produced by Family International, which is a huge Christian family production kind of thing. It's considered a cult in a lot of circles, so that's not good. But anyway,
oh boy.
But the overall film, it's 5 different music videos put into this short half hour. So let's break down each music video. So the first one is basically just it's the opening track basically. The song is S.O.S. da 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 da, and it takes place in an office building with a bunch of people dancing around, and it's a pretty good opening start.
Should we have like a creepy scale? Like, is it super creepy, or like, yeah, this is definitely creepy?
The last segment is very questionable, but
Okay.
we'll get to that. So the second segment is just about these two. There's a man and a woman. They're at a party. They see each other, and then they start envisioning themselves ending up together. And then the end of the skit, they get married. So it's just basically a romance music video.
All right. Sounds okay, I guess.
Yep. Now, here's where things start to go. Now, I am a fan of the God's Not Dead films, personally. So the third segment takes place in a classroom where there's a teacher talking about evolution, and then a student... now, here's something I gotta keep in mind. These are all music videos, so there's no dialogue between anybody. And none of the music is translated from what I can find. I found several different versions. All of it is in the same Japanese dialect in the music. So no dialogue between anybody. It's just the music. And everyone has this pantomime because they can't actually speak dialogue. So there's lots of overacting in this segment. And basically, it's just trying to say that humans did not evolve from apes. So... I personally agree with that. So basically, the segment boils down to evolution is wrong and Darwin was wrong. I can get down with that. Then we get to the fourth segment, and here's where a lot of people might have problems, because this one is anti-abortion.
Oh, goody. Oh, no.
I'm gonna boil this down very easily. Basically, it shows a woman, her man runs out on her because I guess she says she doesn't want her child. Then she goes down to the clinic. There's several doctors with creepy makeup and box cutters. And then she decides to keep the baby, and then her husband comes back. And that's the end of the short.
Okay, I am the real Nerd Hood. Sorry for the bad voices. Had a lot of chili or whatever the hell it was I stole. Anyway, that last segment sounds very questionable. And as a guy who came back from the dead himself, lady, you can relax. It's not that bad.
And then we get to the last one. There's one more skit, and this is where it gets very questionable. So it takes place in a grocery store run by 666 Nazis, I think. I don't know if this is supposed to be like anti-capitalism or whatever, but there's humans with barcodes tattooed on their foreheads, and then several people escape from the grocery store. They then form a little hippie organization in the woods, and then the apocalypse happens, and there is this green screen of Jesus giving the thumbs up, and it looks a lot like Buddy Christ from Dogma. So yeah, and then the movie just kind of stops. Everyone goes to heaven, and then that's it. So debatably, people would say this is horrible. I think this is an interesting film. It's a very confusing experience. I don't know how to describe this film.
Let's break it down. Is it more like a Jackson Pollock, like abstract kind of film, or is it like a drunk, it's bad because it has really no meaning? Again, like you said, it's from a personal place that may or may not be a cult. Again, we have to put that out there. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any of this footage, but on paper, it sounds exactly the kind of allegory stuff that gets overdone. Now, the question of it being in Japanese, is it full live action? Does it have animations? Again, I have not seen a look at this footage, neither will our, I guess, our listeners as well.
Okay, there's a part where it's showing a tadpole evolving into a human, and it's claymation, and I mean, they took 5 pictures, and then they just ran them through pre-Windows Movie Maker editing from 1980.
Okay, yeah. I mean, well, Movie Maker editing is basically an actual studio. That's what that's called.
Yeah, and then there's a part where they couldn't animate people going up into heaven, so they just kind of show a bunch of panning shots of paintings of people going up into the sky.
Oh, so matte paintings mostly, I would have to assume.
Sort of. They kind of look like comic book illustrations, but really zoomed in, and then there's a couple, like, swaying shots.
Oh, like a manga shot kind of deal?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe. Like, okay. like I said, I am okay with religious movies. I'm Chris T. Ian. I'm a fan of religious movies to the nth degree. But this film is just so confusing. I think people need to watch it at least once and then come to their own conclusion and decide whether or not this is a bad movie that has bad morals, or if this is a good movie, or if this is a movie that you can laugh at because of how bad it is. You know what? How about this? Because this is a movie I did a review of. This is the kind of movie that I would put on par with Santa Claus versus the Devil from 1959.
Oh, is that strange of concept? Okay.
Yeah, it's that crazy. And that was made by Mexico. So this was made by the Japanese. That was made by Mexico. So they're both foreign religious films, and they're both really bizarre.
Alright, Chris, I haven't heard a lick about this movie you speak of, but this is why we need the wall. This is exactly why we need the wall for these Christian movies.
We have wrestling. We have some drama going on in the WWE. We have future production video schedules. We have our homeboy Austin, our main man Austin Trench. We love you, buddy. Shout out. Links in description for everybody.
For everyone, I am pouring 40-ounce Dr. Peppers. They're cherry in his memory, knowing that he couldn't make it to the stream to the call, and I think everyone should do the same when this podcast is done.
Oh, I have a bottle right here. I can definitely pour it down in honor of him. And it was a great honor to have RetroKid with me here, and it was great to talk about S.O.S. and the baffling film that it is. So, once again, thank you for joining me, RetroKid, and thank you for tuning in for this month's Tipsy Gentleman podcast, and we will see you guys hopefully next time.